I'm recording the class now. Yeah, thank you all. Thank you all once again. I will, anytime we have class, I will make sure that I share the link and you'll be able to rewatch it. So probably you are going to, I will share a form for every one of us to drop our email so that you can easily get the link to your class. So we are trying to build a community of data scientists as well if you are interested. So IQ Academy is trying to come up with a community of data scientists, data, or let me say generally data professionals, data analyst, data engineer, data scientist, database administrator, and so on like that. So we all learn together. If you have an issue, you can easily get solution through the community. So that's one. That's also another news from our program manager. Now, so let's check. Let's check once again. What is data science? But before we move forward, let me introduce myself. If you are meeting me for the first time, I'm. How do I look familiar to any of you? Have you come across me?
Yes, yes,
My
yes,
profile.
yes.
Okay. I don't know. Ahmed, you are the only one saying yes. I don't know who else. So I don't know if you have ever joined my class before. So let me know in the chat box. Okay. Uh Afeez Babatunde is my name. And uh all what I've been doing throughout my career is all about data. Or let me say, I've been a technical person, software developer, uh data analyst, data scientist, and a little bit of data engineer. So all in all, we are all revolving around data. So, and we need to know how to manage and manipulate or make decisions. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so how to make decision with our data, not just ordinary decision, a vital decision. So, but before we move forward today, so and for those who maybe probably you've come across my profile on LinkedIn, on you should know that I've worked with some reputable company, both multinational company or even our local company in Nigeria. So, and I've worked with Coca-Cola, I've worked with First Bank Nigeria, before uh, I left. So, yeah, uh, I would like to give you some takeaway today. You can't know everything at once. Sometimes when you see people writing code and so on like that, you feel like, oh, these people, is it that they memorize all this code or what is happening? So is it that they memorize code? For instance, now you see someone writing JavaScript or writing Python language, I feel like how possible that they know what next to write their lines of code. So you might feel overwhelmed, like, oh, this guy must be a genius because probably you might feel like they know everything offhand or something like that. So you might be thinking, how can I be this kind of person? How can I learn to code in this way? It's not just coding of a thing. You don't need everything. You don't need to know everything. So, but the major aspect of it is for you to have this problem solving skill so that when you face the reality, even though when you are learning, you might be seeing some code, someone that is training you might be giving you some hints about coding. You can be using the style of that person to write your code. But when you face the reality, so when you face a real life problem, maybe probably you are trying to go into real life projects and you come across some, a lot of problems, you now feel like, oh, I don't know how to do this and that. So you don't need to know everything. Even those who have spent like 20 years in the system coding, they still go to Google or they still use AI sometimes to, to write their code. So, and as of today now, I can boldly tell you, like whatever you want to code, you can easily get it. But how do you implement all these things to achieve whatever goal you're trying to achieve? So that's the major thing. So you need to, like what I'm trying to say is like, you don't need to know everything offhand. No. Even whether you are memorizing code or it's not possible to, it's not possible. But you just have to know the basics, the pattern of each programming language you are trying to use. So like Python now, you need to understand it very well. So all the syntax, the pattern, the probably OOP aspect of it and so on like that. So you don't need to, another thing is learn how to learn. So when you have like 1 hour of, maybe you're watching a video tutorial, you are doing something online, trying to learn, maybe you are reading an article or something, make sure that you practicalize whatever you learn online. If you spend 1 hour to learn, you can spend 2 to 3 hours or 4 hours to practicalize it by yourself, not by maybe watching or again. Just think around it and think how to manipulate what you've learned to implement something else. So that's another thing. So when you are, the third tips I'm going to give you is like, don't try to be a perfect developer or perfect data scientist or any aspect you find yourself. So perfection is just a trap. It won't give you any result. So you can't be perfect on you can't be 100% perfect in, especially in tech. So you still have to learn, keep learning, keep learning. When you need to make research, go on Google, go on any search engine to make your research. And the era has changed now. We're an AI era. You can easily navigate online and use any AI that suits whatever you are trying to build to achieve your goal. So the another thing is sometimes when you're trying to learn, you will never feel ready. Like, you might be thinking like, "Ah, should I start learning this?" Just make sure that you have passion for whatever you want to do. Then make sure you gather problem solving skill. So try to shift from being a consumer of a content to to think like a creator. So you think like, oh, how do I create something like this? How can I replicate this? So if I'm within a society now, and I know this technology very well, I will think of how I can use this technology to solve problems that people are facing within my society or community, wherever I found myself. So nobody cares about your coding, you know, they only care about your the outcome. So just make sure that you have all these things in your head. So and make sure that you are always ready to solve problem. That's the main goal of all these things you are learning. So uh let's try to move forward with and start something. So the major reason why we are here is to learn data science. So which is what we are trying to learn how to use the Python as a language for what, for data science. So what is data science? Who are the data scientists? As we all know that in data field we have different roles. We have business analyst, we have data analyst, we have data scientist, we have data engineer, we have database administrator. Even we still have data governance professionals. So yeah, Python for data science. I prepared this slide so that we can all look at it together. Let's go through it. Firstly, you need to understand the concept. So this guide will give you a comprehensive introduction to Python programming and its powerful application in the real world of data science. So discover why Python has become the language of choice for data scientists. Why are we using Python? There's JavaScript, there's uh, C Sharp, there's a lot of language there. So why do we choose to learn data science with Python. Why? So you should be able to understand that, like, okay, how come people say using Python for data science? Can't we use another language? Can't we use something like how? But why Python is the most popular language for data scientists, or even sometimes when you are trying to become a data analyst, people tend to try to learn Python, try to learn R, try to learn all these SPSS of stuff. So why Python is the most popular out of all this language? So how to set up your environment and how to leverage essential library like NumPy, pandas, and so on. We have thousands of libraries in Python. So, but just have to learn how to use them. So this is just a little bit intro about about Python. Python has evolved into the world of most popular language. So it's philosophy emphasize code readability with clear, simple syntax. All this they're just English, and I'm very sure that you yourself, how to gather all this English together. But I'm providing this just for you to have the basic understanding of so. And Python is versatile. It allows you to power everything from web application to automation script to sophisticated data science workflow and artificial intelligence system. So it is a high-level programming language. You can interpret it, execute code directly without compilation, general purpose as adaptable to diverse application and domain. So, meaning that all this, you can either use Python for automation, you can use it for web application, you can use it for data science. That's how, you know, it is very difficult for you to see language like Python because most by language they focus on one specific aspect of their of tech. Like for instance, now when you talk about maybe PHP, C sharp, most cases they use them for web application. C sharp you can use it for desktop or standalone application and so on like that. So, but Python is kind of it has this diversity of a thing, like you can use it for different purpose. So then why Python for data science? Uh, like we said earlier, like it has rich ecosystem of library. So Python over an extensive collection of specific and specialized libraries that simplify complex data tasks like NumPy, Panda, Metaplot, scikit-learn for machine learning, and so on like that. And it's also it's very easy to learn. So for you to be able to gather some, maybe you start learning today now, you should be able to come up with something by yourself. It's not something difficult, it's just for you to be able to think around it and say, okay, this is how I can implement this code to achieve another thing. If I give you a function now maybe a function that sum two or three things together, you should be able to at least do something by yourself and say, okay, I can also achieve this with this. So that's just it. So if I'm giving you 1 plus 2, you should be able to do 3 plus 7. So that's just the essence. So industry adoption, yeah. Most companies like Google, Netflix, NASA, Python has become the standard for data science across industry, which ensure widespread support and career opportunity. So if you know Python very well, it allows you to, you can easily get job opportunity across different companies. Okay. So if you want to, this is how to install your Python on your system. I don't know if most of us have this Python on our system or you just want to download it now. So I will actually show you how to do this. So, but just have it within this slide as well, like how to install and set up your Python environment. So you can either use normal uh, python.org. You can go to you must even do this. You have to download your Python on your system. You install Python on your system so that your system can recognize Python commands. So you have to do that. So you can also install all-in-one package with Python, Jupyter and key data science library pre-installed. So which is Anaconda. Anaconda is also an IDE that you can use, which encompasses a lot of IDE within it, like Jupyter Notebook, VS Code, PyTorch, and so on like that. So you have it within your Anaconda. You can also download Anaconda and install it on your system. So development environment, we have Jupyter Notebook, interactive web-based environment, idea for data exploration. So we have VS Code. If you know, maybe some of us that we've been using VS Code before, you can also use VS Code to uh, write your Python code. You just install the extension, or you can download PyCharm, full featured IDE with advantage debugging and project management. So all this one you can easily install them on your PC. So I'm going to show you how to do this right if you are new. So just let me know if you don't know how to do all this in the comments so that we know that we are going to touch that later before we wrap up today's class so that then so okay, no problem. So if you don't know how to set it up, just let us know. So, and for any library you want to install in your Python, so you can use pip install to do that. Okay. So some of us don't know how to do it, but some of us still know how to do it. So perfect, no problem. We all see how to do that together. So setting up environment, launch Jupyter Notebook. So this after you install your Anaconda, and let's just try to see how basic aspect of data type, basic as Python basic, like learning data type and variables, how to do some small things in Python, like declare your variable, collection of data like list, dictionary, tuple, set, and so on like that. We all did mathematics in school, so like you say you list number, a list of number, we have dictionary of number, we have tuple of numbers, or you have set of numbers. So sometimes we declare variable, like the way we normally say it in mathematics, like when you say let s equals to y, let s equals to y, let's y is equals let s equals to a, or let s equals to 20 or something like that, and you say b is equals to something. So you want to determine something. So in data science as well, you declare variable and so on like that. You can also make a comment, like while to make sure that your code are readable. So in Python, we have control structure, conditional statement, loop. So like we all know that conditional statement is to tell something like, okay, if this happen, let this happen. So that's conditional statement. So if you have set rules, like different rules, now you can easily say, okay, if a is equals to 10, do this for me. If y is equals to this, do this for me. If this is equals to this, do the s, do this thing for me. So that's what we call conditional statement. And we also have loop. When you have range of data, when you have range of data and you want to loop through each of these elements within your data, you can easily use loop. And also you can want to declare function. So you want to make a function which uh, can be reusable. You can reuse this function later within your within your within your code. Maybe when you declare function now, you can reuse that function for later purpose. So that's another thing in Python. So almost, let me say, programming language have the same kind of concept, but they only have different what's it called, different pattern. So or different syntax. Most programming language. So no matter what you are using, no matter any programming you are using, so you can see that in C sharp, in any language, in Ruby, in PHP, in JavaScript. So all these concepts, we still have them in them. We have it in them, like, we have conditional statements in every programming language. We have looping in every language. We have function in every language. We have the method in every language. So, and they all follow what we call OOP, which is what object-oriented programming paradigm. So uh, most of all programming language have to follow this pattern. So you can use it to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So now let's take it down a little bit. So later on, we see what we thought. We can see what NumPy is all about, which is numerical Python. We're going to look at NumPy array operation, introduction to pandas. All these they are going to be practical. They are going to be practical, so you all can see how they works. So let me open up my browser. Let me open up my browser. I think you guys will be able to ask me question. Do you have any question based on what I've said so far? I'm expecting one question. You're supposed to ask me one question. Are we all together? So, I've been speaking for almost how many minutes? Like, let me say 30 minutes, but I've not been able to define what data science is. And I was expecting such question from you guys, because what is the purpose? Why learn data science? Why are we learning data science? You should be able to ask that question. So what is data science? What's it for? Why do we have to learn it? What is the essence? You know? So like we all know, it's not, I'm very sure that it's something you can easily get online, all this definition, but let me give you, like, as if, let's just explain it to each other. Like, data science is like it's a field on its own. So which trying to it's let me say, when you're trying to extract meaningful insight, let me say, meaningful information, meaningful decision, meaningful insight, meaningful results from structured and unstructured data. So when you have structured data, when you have unstructured data, and you are trying to extract meaningful insight out of this data. So at this point, if you are a data analyst, if you're a data analyst or business analyst, you also extract meaningful information from what? From your data. But when it comes to data science, it will go deeper than the way you do it in your data analysis. So at this point, you are using scientific method, algorithm, tools, and systems. So you can say data science is a field that extracts meaningful insight from either structured or unstructured data using scientific method, algorithm, tools, and system. In data analysis, we are using maybe normal all these little statistical method to make sure that we achieve our insights. And we are using tools like maybe already ready-made stuff. That's what we are using. But in data science, we all try much as possible to go deeper to create or make prediction or do all this description and descriptive analysis and so on like that. You can do predictive analysis, descriptive analysis, prescriptive analysis, and so on like that. So you can do all this with your data science. That's where we are going. So it combines statistic. You have to know statistic. If you don't know it before, you can, be learning it, not going deeper. Just at least have little background in statistic, programming, and domain expertise. For instance, now you want to be a data science in earth sector. Now you can easily go and read about earth sector and how to implement data science in that aspect. So it's not just for you to say you learn data science now and someone just bring data to you and say, okay, help us to run maybe customer analysis or customer segmentation uh, on this data. What maybe probably you've not found yourself in where in data feed before in at or let me say in inventory system before or logistic or supply chain before. Someone just bring in data for you and say help us to analyze it without having the domain knowledge. You have to have the domain knowledge before you can even lay your hands on it, or you have someone beside you who have that knowledge, who have practical knowledge of that particular aspect. Now, so sorry, let me accept those who are trying to join. So have it in your mind. Data science is a multidisciplinary field that extracts meaningful insight from structure and unstructured data using scientific method. Algorithm, if you don't know the meaning of all this, you can actually browse them out. Try to understand each keywords in this definition. You are using scientific method, you are using algorithm, different tools in Python and systems. And this combines both statistic, programming, and domain experts while trying to learn and become a data scientist. And why is it important for you and I to learn or to become a data scientist? Sometimes you might not even go deeper. If you think like you don't, it's not necessary. You don't want to make it your career. You don't want to go deep into this field. And can just try to because data is everywhere. That's why it is important for us to learn it. Data is everywhere, from your social media to sensor transaction and different websites. We are consuming a lot of information, a lot of data. So, and even when you data-driven decision, when you are using data to make decision, it gives your company a competitive advantage. So you have a company now and you make your decision not just by assumption. You are making your decision based on fact. So this will give you a competitive advantage. And as of today now, there's a lot of, you don't have to do everything manually. There's automation and personalization in business. So if you keep doing a repetitive task every day, and my competitor have automation system, do you think they will not beat me in the market? So it's something that you can achieve in less than a minute, and you are using like maybe you're spending like 2 3 hours on it. So automation in business, what? In businesses, uh, everything are built on what? On data insight. And also, the reason why it is also important for us to learn is what? Job in data science are among most demand. You know, they are one of most in demand in the whole world as of today. So try to learn something. And I used to tell people like what we are learning today might not be relevant again tomorrow. And I see that most people who are going to what data data analysis today. You know, when we started learning data analytics, like let me say like 8 years back, it wasn't like today. We were not many back then. Let me say like 10 years ago now. We were not many in data analytics. But today now we have thousands of if you want to test on what I'm saying, just put hiring maybe you have a position you are trying to hire, just put data analyst. You will see thousands of resume that will come your way. So but today you need to know that even AI can help you to analyze your data without even have to, go deeper and just as a business person you can easily talk to AI and it will give you results that you are looking for by using your data. The only thing you need to do, make sure your data is structured. That's just it. So for you to stay ahead of the curve, at the edge of the curve, I mean, so you need to keep learning, keep growing, and make sure you leverage your growth on as of today. Make sure you leverage your growth on AI as well. Make sure that you try to master AI as well, and especially when it comes to generative AI. So make sure that you have something to talk about when it comes to that. So what are the core components of data science? Mm. What are the core components of data science? I don't know. You might be jotting it down or something like that. I wanted to skip that before and move on to like installation, but I just thought it is necessary for us to talk about it. What are the core components? In data science, in data analytics, we do what? We do fetch information, fetch data from the source. We try to clean it. We try to perform different manipulation. We try to model the data. The same thing is happening in data science as well, but in different direction. So in data science today, you collect data, you gather your raw data from different sources. You are gathering your data from different sources such as database, API, survey, IoT device, and so on like that. So you are getting all this data and you're trying to fix the mixing error, inconsistency, or outliers within this your data. So that's number two. The first aspect is what? You trying to collect data that you want to use to decide or to or make decision. You after gathering this data, you clean up this data. You have to clean this data. So the third aspect is you are trying to perform exploratory data analysis, which we call EDA, exploratory data analysis. So visualizing and summarizing data to understand pattern and trend. That's what we call EDA. You're trying to visualize, summarize, and to understand the pattern and trend within your data. So as well also we do data modeling in data science as well. We do data modeling. So data modeling is when you're trying to apply statistical and machine learning model to make prediction. You want to try to make it like to predict something. So you can apply statistical and machine learning models to make your decision or any prediction you want to make. So we also in data science we also evaluate model. So model evaluation. So measuring how well the model perform using metrics like accuracy, and precision. Like by the time you are trying to run a model, you are having like maybe 87%, 97%, and so on like that. So you are trying to evaluate model. Then the number six aspect of this, if I'm not mistaken, I've mentioned data collection, I've mentioned data cleaning, I've mentioned EDA, which is exploratory data analysis. I've mentioned data model, which is number four. I've mentioned model evaluation, which is number five. Okay, number six, think of deployment. Yeah, so putting the model into production. Whatever you are trying, anything you'll be able to do what to put together in your data science, you can easily do what you can uh deploy it into production. So that's another thing. And the last part of it, which is for everybody, so communication. So sharing findings via report, presentation, dashboard, storytelling, and so on like that. So after you come up with the whole struggle and everything, the only thing people want to see from you is how you communicate this your report, this your findings, whatever the pattern, the trend that you saw in that report, in that data. So you have to be able to communicate it via report, presentation, dashboard, through storytelling. So sometimes it's very easy for you to model to do whatever findings you want to do in your what using your Python, and later on you can transfer it to any visualization tool like Tableau, Python, Power BI, QSense, and so many visualization tool out there. So you can transform your model, your Python script, put it back to your visualization tool and make maybe you want to go back to your data analysis stuff and build something beautiful as your dashboard or report, or even you can go with the presentation using PowerPoint and so on like that. So that's another thing. So, and like I said earlier, you need to understand the domain knowledge of wherever you are trying to solve the problem you are trying to solve. So, like if we ask you now, like who is a data scientist? So, all data scientists are problem solver. You should be able to understand the business problem. So, when you understand the business problem, when you're able to translate them into data problem, so, I know that our company having low sales and so on like that. How can you translate this into what data problem? So we know that we have the data sources there. So how do you try to realize the metrics you need to get from this data to decide on how to solve this problem? Build model and interpret results. As a data scientist, you'll be able to build model and be able to interpret this result, not just for you to go and copy one code online after building the model. You don't even know the meaning of the model you created. So that's another problem. Yeah, and also you have to be able to help the stakeholder makes make informed decisions. So you also part of the management now as a data scientist, data analyst, most cases data analyst, data scientists are always with the management within the company. So some of the tools that we use in programming are in data science, like programming language, like we are starting with what Python. Library we are going to be using, we are going to use Panda, NumPy, scikit-learn, Metaplot, and Seaborn. So as library to focus on in this class. And also, if you are going to database, probably you want to fetch data, you can think of SQL, MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB for unstructured data. So you can think of visualization tool like Power BI or Tableau. So you maybe when you're dealing with big data, you can think of Amazon, Google Cloud, Azure, or you can think of Hadoop. So you can always think of all these stuff. So let's just think of application of data science. Application of data science in some cases. So think of how Netflix recommend movies, Amazon recommending a product, healthcare predict treatment, finance kind of fraud detection or risk assessment, transport route optimization, and traffic prediction. You can think of all these things. So, like different sectors have different problem that you can think of, and you can think of how to solve all these problem. So, and the learning pattern, you have to um, be concise with whatever you are trying to learn, like learning basic aspect of Python, understanding the data structure, like what I've said earlier, data analysis, visualization, statistics and probability, machine learning. And you can work on a project and then build your portfolio. And at the end of this class, at the end of everything, I will show you how to build your portfolio without having to stress yourself. So after building a lot of projects, you compile everything together within your resume and you make use of this to just build your portfolio that you can share with everybody. Okay, when people see this, anytime you have new project, you add it to your portfolio for people to be able to see everything. So that's just another aspect of it, added to what I've said earlier, based on our introductory section. Now, I don't know any question so far before we jump into how to install our Python IDE and also how to install other tools that we need for this class. If you have any question, are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? And I'm pretty sure, guys, I won't like anything that will please make sure you have system. The best experience for you to learn. Make sure you have system. So it won't be nice that you don't have system to even practice what you are learning. So make sure you have system. And the more as you are learning, you can even search for job online and think, okay, just believe in yourself that I can do it. You can be searching for maybe intern in data science, intern. Yeah, you can search for intern or entry level intern, data scientist role. So guys, are we good? Hope we all have laptop and we are ready to dive into this. So when you go to python.org, you can just click on download and you download this stable version of Python. So you can use this, but you can use it will auto dictate your OS. Don't bother yourself. So download for window. So you download this and then you install it on your system. Can you see? So when you have the file downloaded, just install it on your system. Let's wait for it. Yeah, okay. So this is the main thing you need to install. Where is it? Okay. So you just choose this, include the PIP documentation, everything. Just choose that and then accept it. Allow system to install your Python for you. I think someone's trying to join. It's up there. Okay. So after that, your system will be able to run Python. If you want to test whether your system can run or execute Python code, so you can try to check it on your uh, You can check it through your CMD. Let's wait for it to install. After the installation, okay, I think you are good. So after that, you can try to read, maybe you can go online for tutorial. You can try to read what's it called? Documentation. And you can join the Python blog. What is new? What is new in Python? You can check using Python on Windows. So can look up for all this and see how they work. So make sure sometimes it's good to read documentation a lot. So when you read documentation of what you are learning, to give you to give you a lot of understanding of what how to use work, how to use all these kind of resources, and like how to use all this kind of software to learn better. So all what you are learning today have documentation online. If you go online, you see all the documentation, you can easily learn through them. So you can learn. Okay, after the installation, what next? So let's try to open Python on our system. Uh, After installation, you see something like, can you see? I did this IDLE. So you can see recently added. So recently added, you can open it up. Where is it? Okay, sorry. So you can open it. So showing Python on your screen. So if I try to type 1 + 1 now, can you see? So 3. So meaning that your system can now run Python code. So let's say print hello world. So to print something for you on the screen. But this is the most boring aspect of people learning coding, because if you like, can we all this doesn't sound great or something like that. It doesn't sound. So what do I want to do with all this blank screen? Is it what we are here for? Something like that. So sometimes when you are learning coding at the beginning, you feel like, hey, are these people normal? So it's always like that. And most of us we learn in this way. We learn in this way. So, but it is more than what you think now today. So you can easily download Anaconda, VS Code, and even to bust your brain, you have Copilot embedded into all this what you call all this code editor. So if I open up my what you call my VS Code, I have VS Code installed on my system before, but if you don't have it, just type VS Code on your browser and go to the VS Code website, download it, and then you have it installed. It's very easy. Just follow the procedure and you download it for your system. If you are using Windows, if you are using Mac or whatever you are using, just make sure that you download it and get started with it. So you can even use VS Code online. I think, yeah, for quick edit online, you can use VS Code online now, which is vscode.dev. You can use it online to write whatever you want to write. And the same thing, make sure you download Anaconda on your system. So to run Python. So let me create new something here, or let's try to create a folder. I think let me bring this here. Sorry. Okay, let's try to go to my desktop. Let me create something in data science. I think I have a data. So let me create new folder that we can use for our new learning. So let's say DS series. Yeah, let's name it this. And let's open this folder with our VS Code. So if you have folder like this sometime, and maybe on your system or something like that, you can run it through VS Code. So that whatever you can drag it to your VS Code. Or if you install your VS Code, make sure that it can access your folder. Like when you right click on it in this way, you can easily tell system to do what? Open with code. Can you see? You can open your folder with code. So it will open it up in VS Code. Or you go to your command line and use code dot. So what I mean is this. If you have your folder open like this, right click and open terminal. So it will open this terminal base and it will direct to this particular folder. Can you see? After open it with what? With terminal, I open terminal through this what? Through this folder. That's what it means. So after open it, you can easily type code. Can you see? Code space dot. And when you hit enter, as far as you have VS Code on your system, it will open it up in VS Code. So it's because I've opened it earlier. That's why it doesn't pop up. So it's opened already. So let's try to create new file here and see. Let's say we have new file and we
Hello,
call
sir.
it. Hey,
Hello, sir.
hi.
Okay. I want to ask a question before you proceed, sir.
Okay,
So, as regard this FES Studio,
okay.
so does he have do you have to install Python software before we use it, or it automatically come with a Python compiler?
No, no, no. You have to install the Python before you use this. You have to have Python installed on your system. So that was the reason why I took the first step. Then you can also, well, whatever code editor that you want to use, you have to install the Python first so that it will be able to communicate to the Python library that you've installed on your system. So from there, you see something now. It will ask me like, I should select the Python environment that I want to use to run my code if I'm trying to run my code on this VS Code now. So let's check it out. If I'm saying that, okay, if uh if um if I create a new file and call it maybe what do I call it? My code, my code.py. So the extension for Python is py. So any file you want to save that you want to write Python code, make sure that you are using the extension py. So if not py, then it's going to be when you are using all this Jupyter Notebook. So you can use Jupyter Notebook extension to install it, to save your document, sorry. So when you use this, now this is what I'm saying. Like if you are using VS Code, can you see that I have a co-pilot beside? This is an update. You don't have to stress yourself. I'm telling you, like learning today is not like before. But the only thing you need to understand is the concept, like Even though you see a code, can you read that code? Can you understand that code? So I have my what? Copilot beside. So you can register for Copilot, add it to your GitHub Copilot, add it to your VS Code and so on like that. So any extension that you are using, make sure that you have it within your what is it called? Within your VS Code. So can you see? It's telling me that open a chart or select a language or fill with templates to get started typing to dismiss. So you don't even know where to start and you want to create something. You can, okay, I want to use Python now. I can say, normally in Python, I can easily say maybe A is equals to 10. Oh yeah. And then I say B equals to 20. Can you see? It's even, it's auto-suggesting from like, since I've been able to declare a variable A and B, it's trying to give me a function. That function to add X and Y together. I will not be the one to pass the parameter. That's when you are declaring function, but I don't even need that. I can say sum is equals to, can you see? It's suggesting for me, like after summing up, sum A and B together. I want to sum these two numbers together. And then in the next line of code is what? I'm thinking, I should be the one to say, let me print the sum of A and B together and call the function of that sum, the variable sum AB to, and call it out like, okay, let me to add it to this. So, but based on the AI, it senses what we want to do. It's not like before. There was nothing like auto suggestion like this complete, this is auto suggestion of complete code. It's different from when you have intelligence in your code editor. Intelligence suggests based on what you are typing. If you, for those of us that are familiar with coding. So when we normally use intelligence give you auto suggest when you're trying to type something out. But since the advent of AI, this open AI stuff, it's, when you have Copilot installed, it makes your work more easier. Can you see now? It's quickly auto suggest for me like, do I want to, like, I don't need to type much. But me, I understand the procedure. But you as a beginner now, you have to know, okay, the sum of A and B is this, and how to call the sum variable. I need to call it out and pass it into this uh bracket. So I'm using a print function. A print function followed by parentheses, and then whatever I want to print has to be in quotes. That's another rules. I want to declare variable. If you are declaring a variable as storing a maybe a value, maybe for further, maybe for reusable purpose. Now I store value 10 into A. That means I've declared a variable A. A is my variable. Don't forget your mathematics. S is equals to A. S is equals to 10 in this case. Your Y is equals to 20. So A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20. I want to sum the two together, and you have what? Print out the sum of these two numbers. So now I want to run this code. Can you see the output down? Say the sum of what? The sum of these two numbers is what? Is 30. So I think it's supposed to even ask me for what is it called? If you are doing it for the first time, it will ask you to select what are you run Python code. So when you want to run Python file, it will select you, it will ask you to run to select the Python interpreter. Can you see on my screen? So if you select that run button and it asks you to select your interpreter, interpreter, it will give you the local one that you install. Don't forget, I install our local Python. So it will give you that suggestion because that one is has added to your environment, to your computer environment. So it will go and add it to your environment in environment variable within your main operating system. So, and this one is the one that is installed with what? Anaconda. And this one is what? Global Python. So anyway, but at least the global Python is the one that you install, on your system itself. So it's recommended this and you choose it. So it will help you to run your code easily, no stress. Now, what is variable? Variable is what we use to store something within your what? So we talk about variable, talk about what? Data type. Yeah. So we need to understand data type. Yeah. So I think that's where we need to go now. So variable, you can declare variable. You can declare variable in any way you like, but make sure that there's no space in between. Don't start with number. Make sure you start your variable with the alphabet. It can contain underscore, but don't add space to it. You can do A1 is equals to 10. You can do it. Make sure that your variable is not starting with what? With number. That's another rules and regulation. So all these condition, all these patterns of writing your code, you should be able to get it right. So yeah. What else do we need to look at into? If you have any question, you can always drop it in the chat box. Or you turn on your you can on your mic and speak if you have any question.
Okay,
Um
please, I have a question, sir.
okay.
Yeah, please help me shed light on IDE, VS Code, and PyCharm because a friend told me that it's better use PyCharm and you've not mentioned it. So, and again, I don't understand the relationship between the two. First, we installed Python, but when we wanted to run our code, we had to go and open VS Code. So, I'm not really getting the connection here. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the question. Yeah. So okay. Um okay. Yeah. So IDE normally uh is general name for all code editor. IDE generally is the Python ID, that learning environment, the IDEL that comes with Python during installation. That one is what we call integrated development and learning environment. So this is just like normal default editor with a blank screen that comes with what? With Python installation. So if it's just for you to test, you don't need to,
Okay.
you don't need it to do any special thing or something like that. So, but IDE generally is what? Is integrated development environment. So this one give you more like a lot of ways. If you are using the other one, it's just like you are using Notepad to write your code.
Okay.
So, and it just that one is beginner friendly, very minimal UI. It doesn't have anything within the UI or something like that. But imagine you are using VS Code, you are using Jupyter Notebook. So it's it is complex though, but it has more features. So it is modern way like of modern code editor. That's what, like something like VS Code, PyCharm, a lot of code editor. We have Cursor and so on like that. So it has a lot of extensions. It has full support with even Jupyter Notebook and Panda and so on like that. It support it. You can you see, for instance, now if I'm using that other one, I cannot see any auto suggest. I cannot you come. I cannot. That one is just for you to test run some things, and just for beginners. So if you want to use VS Code now, it gives you full support with Jupyter Notebook, or any if you are using any other library within Python. So smart autocomplete, error suggestion. If you have error in your code, it will auto suggest. It will highlight that error for you. So built-in debugger, so you can debug your code directly. Can debug your code using VS Code or even any other code editor you might think of as of today. So that, generally code editor is to make our work more easier, not to stress us. So you understand?
Okay,
So
sir.
yeah,
Thank
yeah, yeah. So where we are is what? Variables. So we are trying to talk about variables in and various data type in what in Python. So like what I said earlier, variable refers to a value stored in memory. Like when you have something like, okay, help me to store this variable, this value. I will come back for it later. Like for instance, now we have a that's carrying 10 value. It helps us to keep it in memory so that anytime we need that 10 as a value, we can easily call it. Like, oh, call A instead of trying to write the value again. So the value of A can be as anything. So that's where the data type comes in. So like for instance now, you can say after this we can have, let's have name equals to what's my name? So that's name. Can say age, can say age is equals to this. You can say my height is equals to this. Let me try to, someone is trying to call me. Okay, so I think I need to put this aside. Okay. Yeah. So we can say age, okay, height is equals to this, and we can say, is he a student? Is student? Okay, is he student? Either two of us. So now look at it very well. Look at this very well. Let me clear this. So let's try to understand this. We have different variable here. We have variable of a name called Afeez. We have age. Why am I putting that Afeez in a quote? So you get? Also, why am I putting that Afeez in a quote? Because it's a character, it's a string value. We call it string. We call it string value. So it's a character, it's an alphabet. So it can be of maybe Afeez, Babatunde, and so on. So since I can have multiple things inside that, you know, I'm putting it within a quote, it's a string. So we have age, which is what you can integer. Age cannot be 25.1, it cannot be 25.3. So it can only be integer. It's a real number of what? Integer. So we have height. Height can be 5.1, 5.2, 4 point something. So which can be what we call float number. So those are what data type. Now we have float number. So that's like 3 point when you have point in something. So the fourth one is what? Is he a student? True. Yeah. Okay. This guy is a student. So and this is what we call Boolean value. Call it Boolean value, which is either true or what or false. So we also have different data type in Python. mind you, we have different data, and we have like list, we have dictionary. So when we get there, you see how it works. And don't forget that I said you cannot have variable start with number. You cannot have your variable. You cannot have space in between your where trying to declare your variable. Don't put space in between. So you can only put like underscore in it. So what else? You cannot even use even. So you can add number to it like age 1, age 2, and something like that. So make sure that you understand that aspect as well. So here now we can say I don't need this again. Okay. So I can print out something here. Say though I don't want to display for now. I can only want to print. So I can say help me to print everything about this guy. So I can say print this name is equals to this. I'm calling back this name as a variable here. Age is equals to this and this. Can you see? So if you print out this, if you try to run your code now, what do you see? So name, Afeez, age is equal to this, height is equal to this, student and this. So it give you everything back. So I hope you are getting it.
Yes. So you are doing this on the V Code environment, right?
These are yeah, VS Code.
VS Code. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is how you get started gradually. You will get there. So it's kind of interesting when you know how to do all these little things. So that you know when you see a big like I see a lot of code like that is like what's all this all about without even be able to understand the steps like uh, it's always good to see code like this, like someone send you a code and you able to understand it by yourself. So and don't forget, like like we said earlier, you can also add comments. So you can add comments to your code. So for instance, now if I'm sending this code to someone now, I can say this code defines some variable and print them in a formatted string. Yeah. So and that's all. So this F is what we call formatted string. It's used to format string. So all the everything that we have within our code, within the code here now is being formatted. So if you are not using it, it might not print it as we want it. We have to declare that variable. It won't be in a Collins bracket. So if you are not using the F string, so the assignment that I will give you guys before tomorrow is make sure that you read a little bit intro about data science. I have a lot of books. I have a lot of resources I can share with you, but not now. Please just make sure that you stay tuned in this class. If you are seeing my desktop now, let me show you this. This is data science, and I have introduction to statistic. All this is something you can read for data science. So descriptive statistic for exploring data is this introduction to producing sample and sampling, probability, and all these they are based on data science. So and I can share those one with you later. But make sure that you go online by yourself, try to read about data science. Um, so there's a lot of resources to share. So, but I would like you to try your possible best to at least go and read online, introduction to at least practice something, install your Python, install your VS Code. How do you connect your VS Code? Yeah, sorry. I'm able to access AI, open AI within my VS Code. So make sure you register for Copilot and maybe you try to open GitHub account, please, as a developer or yes, as a data scientist. Try to open what? Try to open GitHub account. When you have your GitHub account, you can use it to log in to your what's it called, to your VS Code. Can you see my own? So you can go to my GitHub. You can even download some resources on my GitHub. Coming. Let me. I'm not saying that it's gonna be copy and paste my code in my GitHub. Try to do your own. So you can go to Git. I think let me show you my GitHub account. So if you have not joined WhatsApp group before, you can request for. I don't know if you're every one of us, if you are on the WhatsApp group, just try to uh, join the WhatsApp so that we can share more information on the group. Or if you have any other question, you can reach out to me via WhatsApp. So I will try much as possible to respond to you. Yes. So today now, I would like every one of you guys to go on your system, try to install your Python, then make sure you install. Okay, sorry, I will also show you how to go with Anaconda. So you need to install Anaconda on your system as well. So when we get there, you won't bother again. You just go there straight and keep using it. 745 691. So I have a lot of repository on my GitHub account as well. So you can go there if possible, if possible, if possible. Go there, you see some stuff, interesting stuff that you might have interest. What is okay, my repo. So a lot. I have a lot of stuff there. So you can start them. Maybe anytime you come here, before you copy my code, give a star. so, so, um, so it will be of more of data science pushing to this procedure to the GitHub to these days, maybe in the next 1 month. So we keep pushing data analysis, data science materials or templates to this repository so that at least you can also get something. You can go there, clone it. When you clone it, you can make use of it. Or you can also follow me on GitHub as well. So also for you to be able to access the recording of any of our class, we make sure that as I record it, as I'm recording it, I will keep uploading it on YouTube channel. You can go back anytime and watch it. So as you wish. So any other stuff? This 11. Okay, this we still have like how many minutes? We still have like 20 minutes. Probably we can spend like 10 minutes together. Ask question. What we don't understand. And for you guys that we like to install Anaconda as well, just go online, install Anaconda. So try to go to check Anaconda download. Make sure you install it on your system. So because we can also, instead of using VS Code, you can also use Anaconda to do whatever you want to do. I have it installed on my system already, and this is how it looks like. Can you see? So this is how it looks like. This Anaconda. You can use this Anaconda to launch a lot of IDE on your system. So can you see that I have what? I have VS Code. You can install PyCharm. You can install Jupyter Notebook. Can you see? So you can also launch Jupyter Notebook. If I'm launching it here now, you see how it will look. So you can also write your code in your Jupyter Notebook instead of using your VS Code or using your Folcom editor for Python. So where is it? I think it's loading. Yeah, it's asking me where do I want to open it. So open it with Chrome for me. So like, remember, we talked about Jupyter Notebook earlier, like, it's a web-based editor. So, but it can work without internet. So it can work without internet. So can you see? So I think I have my desktop on data science, Python for data science. So can you see? I just opened up a notepad, and you can even create a new what? You can go back to your data science, and then this is the one I just created this folder, and you can create a new file, create new notebook, and create a new notebook. So when you create a new notebook, it's coming up. Can you see? So just select this. Your kind, because if you don't have that Python installed, this one also will not be able to run. But I think sometimes when you install Jupyter Notebook, it comes together with Python. So you can also select that and keep working with that. So if you come here now, also say name equals to Afeez. And say, so it's asking me, do I want to run it? So select, okay, sorry. I've been selecting cans. Okay, yeah. So can you see after running it, it will show that you have run this. So it has accepted the variable that like that. I can say print what? Print my name. So and you see it comes with Afeez. So that's when you are using what? We are using your Jupyter notebook. That's how this one looks like. So, but if you are using VS Code as of today, you will enjoy it more, or you go and download PyCharm. PyCharm is also like VS Code, can interact with everything that you are doing. So as you can also use chats, it's telling me that I can ask Copilot something. So, and this is relying on what? ChatGPT 4.1. Can you see? So I can also change it to cloud. I can change it to Gemini. And that's the reason why I'm saying that you coming to this class, you will learn a lot. It's not that, you have to work smart today. You don't have to, keep learning the way we did back in the days. Like, we learn every bit, like, okay, how to define a function, how to do this and that. If I want to define a function to do one crazy stuff now, I don't need to stress myself. So I can easily, let me just show you tips. Can you see? It's telling me that I should ask Copilot something. So think of whatever you might think of. So, okay, let me say declare function to,
Is this Jupyter Notebook?
no, this VS Code. So to calculate student grade. So it will quickly run everything and help me to declare the function. Can you see? So say if this is equal to this, and the only thing I need to do is just to pass this function into student record, and that's all. So if I'm saying now that I want to make use of this function now, I can simply say, okay, I can simply say, define the main function and then run it and see what we have. So you can see that this is very kind of, it's crazy. Man. So you can return a function now. You can return this function and say, let's run this function. So, but all these things you might not understand. You might not understand this now until probably when we get to all this um OOP of a story of a thing. Yeah, when we get to OOP in Python, you understand how all this thing works. So yeah, but get it in mind, like learn with AI in this era. Don't just stress yourself, don't stress your brain. So and just be strategic than uh trying to learn everything. Have strategy of learning and then also try much as possible to build solution and or think of solution that you can do what you can build, yeah, with all this thing you are learning. So I don't know if you have any other question, anything. Let's have it.
So
Let's
sorry,
have
Mr.
it.
Afeez. So the,
Yep.
the first thing is to install Python.
Yes.
Okay. Then the link for the Python, although I missed that part, you did send the link to install the Python.
Just search python.org.
Okay,
Yeah.
python.org. Thank you.
Yeah. So are we all good? I can see. Let me check my attendees. Uh Akinfela, Afeez, Busayo, Dare, Eniola, Jala, Gani, Ahmed, Idowu. Oh, Oyelakin. My boss. How you doing now? Ife, Dolapo, Ismail, Lillian, Olabanke. I greet all of you guys, and thanks for joining. So, we are still working on our community platform. So when it's ready, we push everything, all the resources you needed, so you can easily join the community. But right now, you can join. For now, you can stay on the WhatsApp group for now. If you are not on the WhatsApp group, just let me know so that I can drop the link to the WhatsApp group here. So but if you are all on the WhatsApp group, no problem. We are all good. We are all good. So probably we keep moving, gradually. I'm pretty sure by the end of this 1 month class, you'll be able to at least say you've achieved something. When it comes to data science, you can tell people like, oh, I have beginner experience in data science. So even though you are new. So but I could remember when I did my diploma in data science, I think that was 2019. So I wasn't, I think I did that for 6 months. So, but at least it wasn't. It was a lot of work. But I'm pretty sure today now it's not like that time that there was no AI to support your learning. Here now you have AI. Even though you don't understand code, you can go through it one after the other. You can even ask AI to explain this thing better for you to understand it. And it's just for you to come down to the level that make sure that you are more strategic now, go to be able to understand whatever you are putting out, the AI is giving you. So that just it. So guys, we are almost 2 hours for today's class, and thanks you all for joining. So any other thing, any other thing, any other thing, any other thing.
How do you know the time for the classes?
Okay, we always drop it on the WhatsApp group. You will see it there. always, anytime. So, but I will talk to the program manager, whatever they decide on. So, but I want to ask, are you guys okay with this time? Are you convenient with this time? It's early morning, and I'm pretty sure it's good, also good for learning. When you wake up and you learn something new. Is it okay for you guys? It's almost 12 p.m. for me because I'm 2 hours ahead. So this is 11:49 here. For those of us that think we are in Nigeria, um, this 9:49. So are we good? So we'll keep it that
Yes.
way, or
So,
So
what
I
out of
have
working days? Like Monday, Tuesday,
a
Wednesday. I think it might be.
yeah, I think that's the reason why we are planning. Like, so we make it 3 days in a week or 4 days in a week.
okay. So because of
Yeah,
work,
I,
sometimes
I
some
think we
of
can
us
go back from
work.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yes,
Uh,
Thursday.
Okay, so please, can you
Thursday.
hear me?
your network is breaking. Sorry for that.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me?
You can
Can you
unmute
hear me,
yourself
please?
now. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, you can hear me.
Oh, you're lacking. ID,
Yes,
unmute,
so
unmute yourself.
I'm with you.
Okay,
I'm
my
here.
boss.
Yeah, that's what. So thank you very much. It's quite interesting, and at least we're growing. So anytime, I'm always available anytime. So anytime,
No
which is
problem.
it's great. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank
You're
you, sir.
welcome. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, Temitope, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So I wanted to ask if we could have the classes maybe end by 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Nigeria time.
Yes.
Yes, that's for weekdays.
You get, are you in Nigeria?
Yes, I'm in Nigeria.
Okay, guys, sorry. I think my network went off. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, Temitope, you were trying to say something?
Oh, okay, so I was asking if it's possible to have the class hold 1 hour earlier than when it started. So maybe 8 a.m. to sorry, maybe 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Nigerian time on weekdays. So that would be like, I think you said, yeah, how many hours ahead of us? So
2 hours.
for you, it would end at 11.
Yeah. Okay. I think we are going to drop all the suggestion on the group based on popular opinion. We are going to decide on that. So without wasting much of your time. So I think I got someone said we should do 4 days and we can take it back a little bit, like maybe 7 a.m. if possible. I'm pretty sure, but some of us, we like sleeping. But okay, fine, no problem, guys. Thank you all for joining, and it has been a wonderful section for me. See you guys some other time. We'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
I
so
really
much.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. All right, bye.
Bye.